TitleMatchNetwork.com.
That's crazy.
At least it was something.
What are your favorite guys to travel with? Who are some of the guys you like traveling with?
Man, I you know what? I've traveled with so many different guys. I really couldn't narrow it down. I enjoyed traveling with Robbie Brookside over in England. We had a lot of good time, road trips together. Traveling with Lenny out there in Portland, Lenny and those guys out, Buddy. We had some laughs. I remember Buddy giving me a hard time one time, and I was sitting in the front seat of Lenny had just got a Pathfinder. It was like a 1987 brand new Pathfinder, just the first year they came out. And I remember Buddy giving me some stick, and I bit, and so I bit, and I had this unopened can of beer, right, and I just flipped. I remember squeezing that, and the beer can exploded, and there was beer all over the place. Well, Ed Lasowski was in the, so Lenny was quiet. He was pissed off, this happened. So Ed Lasowski, he's, we're not stopping, so he's pissing in a big super cup glass, right? He's pissing in there, and it's starting to get up to the brim there. And Lenny eyeballs him in the mirror because he knows he's pissing, and he starts laughing, right? So a little bit of the piss spills over, but so Lenny pulls over to the side of the road, motherfucker, he's cussing, he's going, I'm driving a $17,000 dumpster, he starts screaming, right? So I go to step out, and, Ed pushed the seat forward, and he just threw the piss out the cup, and it went all over my feet, sandaled feet. I'm like, you son of a bitch. So Buddy's in the car, and he's laughing. He's got this big Super Gulp thing full of chocolate milk, right? And so he's laughing. I said, throw me a towel. So we got one of the hotel towels, and I start wiping off my feet, and Buddy's in there laughing. So I take the towel full of piss, and I throw it back in on Buddy, and it hits him right in the face. And Buddy's got a weak stomach, so he starts puking all over the back of Lenny's truck. So he's puking chocolate milk all over the place. Lenny, 4 more hours back to fucking Portland. Lenny didn't say a fucking word.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story. Memories of Scott and Rick, the Steiners.
You know what? I didn't really do too much with them. The only thing I could really tell you about the Steiners is I remember filling in when Scotty tore his bicep or something. And
right.
I remember filling in, and I worked as Rick's partner against I used to call them the Dirty Dicks, Dick Murdoch and Dick Slater, and I remember enjoying that match. Just working with two legends, three legends in reality. You know what I mean? Working with those guys at that time, it was just a good experience for me.
Memories of Bobby Eaton?
Bobby Eaton, tremendous worker, great guy in the dressing room, just a character that, everybody liked to be around. He always had candy in his bag, and he's just a really good guy. I mean, I'll tell you what, he's in my top 5 of all best workers. If he could have talked, my God,
yep.
You know what I mean? He's one of my favorite, and watching him work babyface or heel, the guy could do it all, and I just have loads of respect for him.
What are your memories of the Scaffold Match you're involved in?
I try to forget it every day. I think I drink loads and loads just to forget that thing. It's one of the most embarrassing matches I've ever been in. They forgot to get a scaffolding, so they doctored something up. It was too high. Bobby said he'd take the fall. Dusty said, no, it's not necessary. I thought that thing was a joke. You know what I mean? And it was written up. Their kayfabe sheets said it was crap, and I agree with them. And if they want to blame me for that, then blame me for it. But it was just bad booking.
What was it, Bash 91 maybe? Or?
I think so, yeah. It's just bad booking there. That was bad booked.
What do you remember teaming up with Terry Taylor?
You know what? I can remember a couple matches having with Terry. I remember doing those mixed tags and stuff like that against... and doing stuff like that where I was with Missy Hyatt, and I think Terry was doing the heel thing at the time. Terry was involved with that thing in Sheffield, and I've heard it through the grapevine. He doesn't think too much of me, so obviously he thinks I did it. So I mean, any fond memories I would have had with Terry. Not that I'm not bitter at him or stuff like that, but it's just it's kind of put a cloud over some of the nicer memories I might have had of Terry.
What about Ric Flair? Do you have any memories of Rick?
Seeing him naked down at the dungeon in Atlanta, yeah.
Huh.
Coming down in his robe and stripping off, yeah. I remember stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, in his day, he was a class act. Just a one of the best, workers again of all time. I don't know if I'd put him in my top 5, which might shock a lot of people, but my top 5 is pretty. It's a pretty tight group there. So
Are you shocked that Rick still wrestles to this day? Or?
no, not at all. I mean, you know what? He's so good at what he does, and it's just like, you know what? He could do it in his sleep. He's you know what, and he still pulls it off. You know what I mean? If he couldn't pull it off, I'd say, hey Rick, you know, it's time to hang out the boots. But what for? He's pulling it off. He's doing a hell of a job.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.